2, 1.
Welcome to Made for More Living.
One small step for man.
With Johnny Jennings.
Kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy.
The fastest and most exciting hour of news, events, and real estate in Northern California.
And this is a fact that was proved.
Powered by eXp Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
Does everybody know what time it is?
Get ready. Here we go.
Are robots going to take over the world? That's the question we are asking today, specifically in reference to artificial intelligence. And the guy to answer it is Phil Stringer. Hello, Phil.
What's going on? So happy to be here.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, so I guess we were talking about, is it NVIDIA?
Yeah.
The number one, most valued company in the world.
Crazy. They just passed Apple and Microsoft this last week.
How long have they been in business about? Like you said, they got started in the 80s, or?
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So, but they overtook Apple and overtook Microsoft. And why is that, Phil?
Well, I mean, you think about it. Anytime there's a gold rush and you're digging for gold, the people who sell the shovels are going to make the money.
Yeah.
And so they're selling the AI chips. Apple's buying from them. Microsoft's buying from them. Amazon's buying. OpenAI, everyone's buying from them. And so their stock is insane right now. Absolutely insane.
Did you invest with them at any point?
You know what? I wish you wouldn't have asked me that, because now I totally wish that I would have.
I didn't even know that they exist. NVIDIA. It sounds almost like a video production type company. I wouldn't even thought AI. So, but the question on everybody's mind is AI taking over? And since this is a real estate show, what's your take on artificial intelligence and how it relates for clients? Should they be excited about this? Should they not be excited about it? What are you seeing?
Yeah. So, the thing is there's so many misconceptions about AI right now. A lot of people are either afraid of it because of Terminator.
Yep.
They don't understand it, so they're confused. Or they're like, it's so overwhelming because I don't like technology. Those are the things I'm running into. And so what I try and do is I try and say, look, guys, don't be afraid of it. Understand that this is a massive opportunity. If you probably heard me say it before, and I'll say it 100 times till I'm blue in the face, but AI is not going to replace your job as a real estate agent, but the real estate agent using AI is going to replace you as a real estate agent. Mm-hmm. So we have to understand that this thing is here to stay. It's the greatest technological advancement that we've seen since the creation of the internet, and it's not going anywhere. So the agents who implement AI first are going to be able to run circles around the agents who don't. Mm-hmm. And you saw it with the internet. I mean, you look at the people who were in real estate before the internet. MLS was what? A catalog, a book, right?
Yep.
If they didn't evolve with technology when the internet became a thing, they would not be in business today. And it's going to be the same thing with AI. The AI-powered agent will replace the standard agent. It's just a matter of time.
So what about the consumers, though? So I know the agents, we kind of have a good feel for them, but What about the consumer? Are they excited about these changes? Are they nervous? Are they embracing it? What is your take?
The consumers want their agents to be using AI because they know that other people are, and they want to be competitive with their marketing.
Got it.
And so a lot of clients are looking for agents who are AI powered, mm-hmm. right? Because they know that that's the future. They know that other agents are going to be able to run circles around those agents. And so if you're a client, you want your home to be marketed the best way possible, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And the best way possible right now is being the most efficient with your time, and that's using tools to be efficient like AI.
Yeah, I heard you say something the other day when you were speaking. What was the one with the most leverage wins? Was that you that said that?
Yeah, the real estate agent or even the business owner with the most leverage wins. And so when you look at it, anytime you can increase your output while maintaining or decreasing your input, you create leverage. Mm-hmm. If I can increase the amount of stuff that I can get done while maintaining or even reducing the time taken to get that stuff done, that's what leverage is. And the business owner with the most leverage, the real estate agent with the most leverage will always win because they'll be able to do more with less.
And right now, NVIDIA has the most leverage, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're the only game in town, essentially.
Exactly, 100%.
And so if I was a person looking to buy a home or sell a home, what type of AI questions should I be asking my agent to make sure that they're up to speed with the times?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to buy or sell your home, you should make sure that you're being represented by an agent who's going to use AI to market your property. Why would you not want as much exposure as possible if you're going to sell your home, right? If you're a seller you might want to have AI strategies on what is, based on AI data, what is the client that is most likely to purchase my home? What's the buyer persona that is most likely to purchase my home? Okay, now that you know generally from data who is going to buy my home, market to those people.
Exactly. Or create a listing description that speaks to those people.
Exactly. If your buyer persona that's going to buy this specific house is Jennifer, who's 35 years old with 2 kids, and she makes $100,000 a year. And here's her psychographics, here's her demographics, here's the pain points that she could face in purchasing my home. If you get that information, which is easily done with AI, now you can market to Jessica. And you can market in a way that Jessica is going to feel valued. And it's, targeted marketing, essentially.
Exactly. So what you have all these different, because there's so many different companies out there offer so many different products. What type of a product would you use for that type of marketing campaign?
Easy. For that specific use case, it's just a large language model like ChatGPT.
Okay.
So you can literally go in. I've written a prompt to make it easy for people to copy and paste, but you can go in and you can just say, hey, create me a buyer persona for a home in this price point in this market. And list out demographics, psychographics, list out pain points that they could face in purchasing the home. It's going to give you a full buyer persona. And I'm actually working on, I haven't ever told anyone this, so this is exclusive, but I'm working on a product that uses AI to gather data on who buys certain homes in what markets and what price points, so that listing agents can have accurate data of who is most likely to purchase that specific home that they're listing. They can go to that listing appointment and they can say, hey, we know your buyer and this is who we're going to market to. It's killer.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's incredible. And so for those of us who aren't familiar with AI and all that, what do you mean when you said you would create a prompt?
Yeah. So in ChatGPT is what's called a large language model. So if you ever hear of LLM, they're referring to a tool like ChatGPT, or you might have heard of Gemini, right? Or
is that Google?
Yes. Yeah. And then you've got Claude. So you have these different competitors that are all similar. It's like a chatbot that you talk back and forth. It's a conversational response. So when people ask me, hey, what is ChatGPT? And they have no idea, the easiest way that I can explain it to them now is it's everything that Google wished that it was in a search engine.
Well, they're trying with Gemini.
They're trying.
Yeah.
But when you Google something, you get a static list of results with an article that could potentially answer your question, right?
Yeah. They think that might answer.
They think it might answer. So you have to click the link. You have to read the article. If it doesn't, you go back to the list and you go to the next one.
Yep.
With a large language model, it's a conversational response. So it goes back and forth with you to where it's going to answer your question, and then it references everything that you've been talking about in that conversation to give you an answer. So the easiest way to understand how this works is if I were to Google who won the Super Bowl in 1995, it's going to tell me the Dallas Cowboys won, right? I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so of course I'm going to pick the year 1995. But if I do...
You're from Indiana, and you live in the Carolinas. Was it North Carolina or South?
I'm in North Carolina now.
And you're a Cowboys fan.
Cowboys fan.
How did that happen?
My dad's side of the family's from Dallas.
Okay.
And so we grew up Dallas Cowboys fans.
Okay.
But if I were to put that same thing in ChatGPT and say, hey, who won the Super Bowl in 1995? It's going to give me the same result. But here's the difference. If I were then to go to Google and just type in who was the quarterback and I hit enter, it's not going to have any reference to what I was talking about before. So it's going to be like, well, here's a list of the current NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah.
If I say who was the quarterback with no other reference to ChatGPT in that conversation, it's going to say, well, Troy Aikman was the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys in 1995, and they defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's going to give me all that information because it is referencing what we've been talking about, right? And that's
the continuous conversation.
Continuous conversation.
So I did exactly what you just said. And it said the Super Bowl in 1995 was won by the San Francisco 49ers.
Calendar year, yes.
I know, calendar year.
Season 95. I'm aware.
And Steve Young was the quarterback. It did exactly what you said. When I said, who was the quarterback, I didn't reference any year or anything. It just kind of continued, like you said, the conversation. And so it knew what I was talking about.
Yep.
Crazy. So back to real estate. A real estate agent should be using that prompt to create... What was the term you used?
Yeah, buyer
profiles or
right.
personas.
So essentially, I think back to your original question, which was what is a prompt?
Oh, yeah.
The prompt is the thing that you put in and you hit enter, the question that you ask ChatGPT. Now, the prompt that you use will 100% determine the amount of information you get back.
This is honestly the hardest part.
It's the hardest part.
Because it's almost like speaking in another language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So garbage in, garbage out for one.
Yeah.
The more basic your prompt, the more basic the result. And the more detailed the prompt, the more detailed the result. So for an example, if I were to say, I want to pick up a new hobby, give me a list of 10 hobbies. It's going to give me a list of 10 random hobbies, and knitting might be one of them.
Cigar smoking, maybe?
Cigar smoking, maybe.
There we go.
But it could be things that I like or I don't like because it knows nothing about me.
Yeah.
If I were to be more detailed in my prompt and I said, I'm a 35-year-old male from Greensboro, North Carolina. I like outdoors. I like sports. I like music. I'm looking to pick up a new hobby. Please give me a list of 10 things specific to Greensboro, North Carolina. Now I have locations and activities. All right, here's a golf course that's really good, right? And so the more specific you are with your prompting, the more specific the result. And so a lot of people that are like, oh, I tried ChatGPT. It didn't give me good results. It's just because you're doing it wrong. And I think real estate agents run into two problems. One, they don't know what to ask. Two, they don't know how to ask it. And those are the two problems. And so I thought, okay, if I can solve this for people, and I can tell them what to ask and how to ask it, and they just copy and paste it, that's what's going to change the game for real estate agents.
Mm-hmm. And so if they want to reach out, or if real estate agents wanting to learn more about how you help them with this, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Website, philstringer.com, P-H-I-L, just one L, Stringer, S-T-R-I-N-G-E-R.com. Also, Instagram's probably the best way to communicate with me via DM. It's just at Phil Stringer on Instagram.
Well, that's a good
Easy.
Instagram handle.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, hey, when we come back, we're going to be talking about how artificial intelligence is affecting real estate agents and agents, what you can do about it.
Okay, Matt, so I have some friends who are in the middle of buying a new house, and we were talking about it over the weekend. They had so many questions to ask, and apparently their realtor didn't have the best answers, and they were kind of wondering. And I was just thinking to myself,
that's what happens when you use a friend.
Exactly, right? I was like, you need to talk to Johnny Jennings because he is the smartest realtor I know. He sells houses all the time. He'd be able to answer all of those questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only that, they sell homes 27% faster than everyone else, and on average, 3% higher. So reach out to Johnny Jennings and the Tom Daves team with Made for More Realty. Find out what kind of offers you would get on your home or how much you could get if you wanted a cash offer today, no matter what kind of condition your home is in. In fact, they guarantee to sell your home at a price and a timeline you agree to, or they'll buy it themselves. There's a reason why they have so many 5-star Google reviews. So get more for your home. Reach out to Johnny Jennings and the Tom Daves team with Made for More Realty, brokered by EXP. Just Google Made for More Realty today. License number 581837.
This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings, powered by EXP Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
Earlier, we were talking with Phil Stringer. He's an AI guru about artificial intelligence and why it's good for the client and how the client can interview agents and make sure that their agent is up to date and with the times and fully leveraging artificial intelligence. But Phil, like, what are some ways that realtors can make money using artificial intelligence? Like, let's take it from the agent's perspective now. What are some tools? How can it save them time? How can it save them money?
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways, several ways. The lowest hanging fruit is going to be with marketing, right? So creating social media content, creating ads, right? Those are the easiest things to do with AI. So for an example, you could take a video on your phone and you could load it into a tool called Opus. It's Opus Pro, right?
Yep.
Opus.pro.
That's what we use for this show, actually.
Perfect. There you go. So you throw in the video, it automatically edits the content to become short form content. So it'll crop it, add the captions, add automatic B-roll if you want it there, and it will create you an entire Instagram reel, TikTok, whatnot. The power in Opus is it doesn't just throw something together. It uses what's called AI curation, takes the transcription of the video to understand what you're talking about in the video.
Yep.
And then it says, okay, based on this video, I understand what you're talking about. This portion right here is the most shocking hook, so we're going to put it at the beginning, and then we're going to pair that with relevant highlights to create one short form piece. And it gives you several different options to pick from. So
and it ranks them too.
And it ranks them based on a perceived virality score of what it thinks it could go viral. And so that's very helpful for a real estate agent because you're now getting into the short form video game, which we know we have to do, but we avoid like the plague.
Exactly.
You know, it makes it easier. It's going to reduce that, the barrier of entry.
Correct.
Right, to get in. So marketing, huge. Social media content, huge. It will, it can write you Facebook statuses, of course, Twitter posts, whatnot. Blogs are huge for SEO. And one hack that I like to give people with the whole blog thing is when you do a search on Google, let's say, the top tips for moving to Sacramento, right? Mm-hmm. You pick your city. When you do that, there's something that says people also ask. And you know how you have like four or five different results every time? Little drop downs.
Yeah.
When you expand one of the drop downs and you close it, I don't know if you've ever noticed it, but it will add a couple. So if I expand it and I close it, there were 5. Now there's 8.
Yep.
If I expand it again and close it, now there's 12. If I expand it again and close it, now there's 15.
Yep.
So you do that a few times, and then you end up with, 12 to 15 of the top most related questions to your main topic that you search for. You copy those, literally just copy and paste. Yep. Paste it into ChatGPT and you say, hey, I'm writing a blog about, the top tips before moving to Sacramento. Make sure to answer these questions in my blog. You're answering the top 15 related questions to that main topic in your blog for SEO, right? So you're getting more people, more traction. But I think one of the best ways to generate leads would be, for an example, there's a tool called Designer. And it's spelled weird. It's DESIGNRR. But it
Hey, I grew up in Kalinga. That's how we spell Designer. Yeah.
But you take any content. It could be a blog. It could be a podcast. It could be a video. You throw that in to Designer, and it creates an ebook about the contents of what you've just put in. So now you have an ebook that's designed for you about, here's the top tips before you move to Sacramento.
Yeah.
You offer that to your audience, and you say, okay, give us your name, email, phone. And then you give it free. Well, the people who are wanting that content, you're getting their contact information,
yep.
right? So you're generating leads for people who want to know what are the top tips before moving to Sacramento. They probably need to move to Sacramento at some point, or they know someone who does.
Exactly. Got it. So Designer, Opus, and then I think you also speak of something called, is it Descript?
Descript. I love Descript.
So what's the difference between Descript and Opus?
So Descript, you drag in a video, and you have your video on the right-hand side, but then it transcribes the entire video on the left-hand side. So you have the text on the left-hand side. And with Descript, you can literally just act like it's a notepad or a Word doc. You delete a word, and it edits the video to remove the word or a sentence, right? So it makes it very easy to edit video because you just edit the text. It's insane. Like for podcasts, it will save you so much time.
How does the end product look, though? Is it jerky?
No, it looks amazing.
Wow, that's incredible.
It looks amazing. And then there's a one-click button to remove all filler words. Every gone in one click.
Oh my gosh.
And then on top of that, there's a button to remove the word gaps, the silence between word gaps. So if you're wanting short form content that's super punchy and you don't want the silence, boom, all of the word gaps are gone in one click.
Okay. Yeah. So what we should probably do here on the show is we should put everything in Descript, clean it up a little bit, and then put it into Opus to get the short form.
That would be a fantastic way to use both of the tools.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's just basically the essence of what viral TikTok videos, Instagram videos. I mean, that's been going on for it seems like almost a decade now, where everybody's trying to make their videos short, concise, and you see a lot of choppy editing, take this out, take this out.
Yeah.
And so they've basically just automated that and streamlined it to make it as simple as possible. So obviously it's got great purposes and just, regular everyday teenagers, basically high schoolers using it for social media, but you can also use it obviously for business and commercial purposes.
Yeah.
And what's crazy too is the cost. Like it's very affordable. Like how much is Descript?
Descript is, I think, $30 a month. Now these prices change all the time.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. I believe it's $30 a month right now.
Okay. Descript, $30 a month. Opus is like,
Opus is nothing, man. It's like 12 or 19, it's nothing. Yeah.
So there, and then, but then there's ChatGPT, the free version, and then the paid for version.
Yeah.
Do you recommend people using the paid for version if they're real estate agents?
I do. I think it's $20 a month for the paid version of ChatGPT. It gives you access to a couple paid models. So 3.5 is the free version. And you can do a lot of damage with the free version, don't get me wrong. But if you really want to up your game, you pay $20 a month. You get access to GPT-4 and GPT-4o, which is the new one. And in those models, you're able to upload files. And it gives you much better, a longer context window, which means you can put more in and you can receive more out.
Oh man, that flywheel's accelerating.
Exactly, right? So it gives you much more functionality, but it also gives you better, more human-like responses too. So it's more human-like comprehension.
So if you put in a file, does it have to be a certain format, like Word, PDF?
No, you can throw in, they support multiple file types. You can throw in an audio file. You can throw in a text file, a PDF, and it will analyze those documents. So think for a second, if you're a real estate agent, you upload a market report, and then you have it either create content for you, write a blog, or even ask questions about the market report. It analyzes the market report that you've uploaded, and then it creates content from the data in the market report.
Wow, man. Things we use it for right now include writing blogs. We do that. Writing listing descriptions. We do that. And then also responding to 5-star reviews. We're the #1 Google reviewed team in the area, so we have constantly 5-star reviews coming in. So you're trying to come up, instead of taking 5 to 10 minutes out of your day to try to come up with a respectful way to respond, you can just copy and paste that review in, and you get a response. And I like using it too for responding to maybe agents who are not being the nicest on email or text. This is what I feel, but what should I say?
I've saved a few deals by doing that, I think.
Really?
Yeah, because it responds way better than I would have.
Because we forgot to cover that. That's really true. So you're not just an AI guru. You mind just sharing us a little bit about your background and how you got into this crazy business?
Yeah, absolutely. So initially, I was in the sales game. I was working for GE, General Electric. And
is that company still around?
Yeah.
They're not in the top 3.
They're not in the top 3, no. And I was doing sales for GE. Ended up becoming chief operating officer of a mega team real estate brokerage in North Carolina. And that's where the whole AI thing started for real estate, because I started building systems for our team and whatnot. And that's why I understand the real estate game. I'm not just an AI guy who is hoping to help real estate agents. I know what you guys deal with, right? And so we crafted all of this based on real estate specifically.
Got it. And so if somebody wants to reach out to you or learn how to use AI in their business, what's the best way to contact you?
Yeah, I would say definitely Instagram, @PhilStringer, PhilStringer.
All these different tools that you're talking about, I know some listeners have probably missed it or didn't write it down. Is there a way that we can post some of those links or a way for folks to access those tools?
Absolutely. I actually have a PDF I can give you guys if you want to give it to everyone. I've got the top 10 tools for real estate agents with hyperlinks. They can just click straight through the tool. And then I've also got 10 prompts that they can just copy and paste. They don't have to think about it. Copy, paste into ChatGPT. It'll change the game.
So what are some of those 10 prompts?
Yeah, so one of the ones that I think is the most important is training ChatGPT on your business and your target audience and your customers before you create any content. So it basically says, hey, you're going to be generating content for me in future prompts, but before you generate content for me, I want you to fully understand my business, my target audience, my market, my price point, everything. Mm-hmm. And you know what you don't know, and you know what you need to know in order to give me the very best content. So ask me the top 25 things you need to know to give me the best content. It interviews you. You just answer the questions, and now everything after that, it gives you content based on your business, not just some random generic junk.
Wow.
You're programming your assistant.
100%.
That is just incredible.
So what's the best way to get a copy of that PDF?
So AItoolspdf.com, there's a download. AITOOLS.
Johnny, I'm sure you could send it out if somebody calls or texts you, right?
Yeah. Just reach out to us, 530-GET-MORE, 530-GET-MORE. You can Google us, madeformorerealty.com, and we'll make sure we get you connected with Phil. This is not like recruiting thing. This is a value add thing, Phil, which you're big on, Phil. You will give away a lot of stuff for free.
One of the things, I think one of the main things that changed my entire business was I heard Alex Hormozy. He said,
"You look like Alex,
dude. I'm not
you're built
nearly
like
as buff.
Yeah,
I have a face for radio. No, I'm kidding. He said, give more away for free than other people charge for, and I said, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give more away for free than other people charge for, and that's what we've done.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being on the show. Back after this.
Okay, Matt, so I have some friends who are in the middle of buying a new house, and we were talking about it over the weekend. They had so many questions to ask, and apparently their realtor didn't have the best answers, and they were kind of wondering. And I was just thinking to myself,
that's what happens when you use a friend.
Exactly, right? I was like, you need to talk to Johnny Jennings because he is the smartest realtor I know. He sells houses all the time. He'd be able to answer all of those questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only that, they sell homes 27% faster than everyone else, and on average, 3% higher. So reach out to Johnny Jennings and the Tom Daves team with Made for More Realty. Find out what kind of offers you would get on your home or how much you could get if you wanted a cash offer today, no matter what kind of condition your home is in. In fact, they guarantee to sell your home at a price and a timeline you agree to, or they'll buy it themselves. There's a reason why they have so many 5-star Google reviews. So get more for your home. Reach out to Johnny Jennings and the Tom Daves team with Made for More Realty, brokered by EXP. Just Google Made for More Realty today. License number 581837.
This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings, powered by EXP Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
So far on today's show, we have had Phil Stringer, and we were talking about artificial intelligence and discussing how is it good for the client, somebody looking to buy or sell a home. And then we were talking about how is it good for a real estate agent, what tools can they use, how can they leverage it in their business to make more time and more money. But the harsh reality is that not everybody's comfortable with AI. A lot of people are concerned with where this is taking us. And so what are some of your takes on that, Phil?
What have you heard? What do you hear from
what are you
people?
Hearing?
Yeah, I mean, look, the common concern is that it's going to replace their job, right? They think that, okay, well, if AI becomes smart enough, then you don't need a real estate agent in the transaction. And, you know,
if it was about intelligence, AI is already there.
It's past, right?
Past, yeah.
But see, that's the thing. It is smarter than us for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why we need real estate agents is because it's a very emotional and relational transaction.
Yeah.
Right? You cannot replace that. Now, what you can do with AI is you can use AI to be more efficient and to get all the admin tasks that aren't relational done so that you have more time to spend on building relationships with clients.
So do you think AI is going to replace more like the virtual assistants, the ISAs, the more admin staff type roles?
It will replace certain tasks. So anytime you have an advancement in technology, it will replace certain tasks. So you look at the technology of like telephones, right? Telephone operators, that task is now gone.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have telephone operators, but you do have cell phone towers and maintenance that has to be done on, right? So you're creating new jobs with new tasks, but you're eliminating some of those old jobs with the old tasks. So anytime you have that advancement in technology, it's going to replace some of those things.
Got it. And so what about people's concerns? Like, do you think AI, what security checks are in place that you're aware of to prevent something happening like Terminator?
Dude, it's the wild, wild west right now.
There's no checks?
It's a free-for-all. No. Look, I think everyone's concerned about what could be done. Anytime you have an advancement in technology, good people are going to use it to be more good, and bad people are going to use it to be more bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just what's going to happen, right? I don't know if you guys have heard of any of the scams.
No, like what are some scams?
Dude, I had one happen to me.
What?
So I'm this AI guy who teaches AI, and I had an AI scam happen to me that freaked me out. So at 3:00 in the morning, I get a call from my dad. So his face pops up on my phone. It's from his phone number, right?
Yeah.
And we've probably heard of this scam, like some of you guys have heard. Answered the phone. My dad is crying and sobbing and saying, Phil, I'm so sorry. Phil, I'm so sorry. Guy takes the phone and he said, I've got your dad at gunpoint. And he said, if you don't send me X amount of money.
Did it sound like your dad?
100% like my dad. And he even started saying things about me. He was like, we've seen you on Instagram. We know your AI, academy. Like, I've got your dad here. If you don't send us this money, he said, don't get up. If I hear you move, if I hear you call the cops, if I hear you drive.
Wow.
Yes. And so he's like, send me money right now. Well, what they're doing.
Did you have to go to Target to buy a gift? Go to the Target.
Go to Target
Don't
right
tell
now.
anybody in the store that who you're buying it for.
Yeah. So, but the thing is you can clone voices.
Yeah.
So, and you think, okay, well, I'm not online. You might say, I'm not online. They can't clone my voice. Well, my dad's a CPA. They could literally just call his office, ask a tax question, and use his voice to clone it.
So continue with the story. I'm curious, what happened?
I mean,
did you send money?
I did send money.
You're like, I don't like my dad.
I did send money. And my thought was, the thing is, I told people about this scam. But at 3 o'clock in the morning when I woke up, I wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah.
My initial
That's
thought
how they
was,
work.
oh my gosh, like literally it woke me up and I wasn't thinking about, oh, I know this is a scam. So I sent money because I was like, well, my dad's life is worth more than that. And that's how they make their money.
Wow.
Right. But bad people are going to do bad things. Good people are going to do good things with technology. But we know this and there's safeguards that they're putting in place. But dude, I mean, things like that, it's just like people are going to do those. Yeah, they're just going to do things like that.
Yeah, I heard one where she's like a 6 or 8 year old little girl, and she has a cell phone, her own cell phone. Let's call her Sally. Sally has a cell phone. Sally's mom gets a call, and it's Sally crying, blah, blah, blah. And this guy goes, hey, I have your daughter, wire me the money, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, what? Like the mom's like, but I thought Sally was upstairs in her bedroom taking a nap. And so mom runs upstairs and Sally's in her bedroom taking a nap, But how messed up in the head do you have to be to do that? I mean, a dad's
bad.
one thing, but a kid, oh my gosh, that's next level.
Yeah.
But so there's some negative things out there. Do you have any suggestions on what people can do to protect themselves from those types of situations?
It's hard because online it's hard to tell with image generation. You can generate images that look real. I mean, you see like with political candidates, dude, they'll make them say things that
I wondered how you were going to phrase that. I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, they literally make people say things that aren't real. Now, right now, the technology, you can tell if you look.
Yeah,
but
it's more funny at this point.
It's more, yeah, right. But the technology, it's not going to be long before you absolutely cannot tell. And honestly, some people are very gullible, and they are being tricked by it right now. And so I don't know that there's a way. It's almost like, hey, with an email, a fake email from a Nigerian prince, how do you safeguard yourself? Well, just become knowledgeable and smart that, hey, you can't believe everything that you see. There's no other way to really safeguard yourself at this point.
Okay, so it's not like Norton LifeLock type of a thing where you can have some service.
No.
Man, it's crazy. But so overall, it seems like this is a good thing in terms of saving people time, making people more like the analogy that I kind of compare it to is dishwashers. Like we used to have to do, back before dishwashers existed, you'd have to hand wash everything. Yeah. Now the dishwasher's there, so you just throw everything in the dishwasher. Now you've saved that time. And so this is just saving people time and giving them more leverage in their life to focus it in other areas.
For sure.
So when it comes to AI, we're not talking about it from like, hey, I'm looking to buy or sell houses. I'm not talking about it from a real estate perspective. How could the everyday person use artificial intelligence to improve their life?
There's a lot of fun ways that the everyday person can use this. I mean, when you think about dietary restrictions, plans, meals, recipes, you can take a picture of your open fridge and say, based on the ingredients in my fridge, make me dinner. It will give you a recipe and the instructions on what to cook. I take a picture of the menu of every place I go out to eat because I've trained my AI on what I like and what I don't like. It will literally tell me what I would like to order from that menu.
And is this ChatGPT you're using?
ChatGPT.
Okay, this is the paid for version?
Yep. The paid for version, yes, because you can upload images.
Oh, that's what you said, yeah.
Yeah, so all you have to do is basically say, hey, I like steak, I don't like chicken, I hate potatoes, just give it preferences, and it always references that prior chat history when you're in that chat. So every time I go to a restaurant, I open up Phil's food preferences, upload the image, and it's like, you want this. I'm like, thanks, ChatGPT.
How accurate is it?
Very. Honestly, it has never gotten an order wrong. And I use it all the time.
You travel a lot.
I travel a lot. It literally gets it right. And I'm like, man, this was really good.
So thinking out loud, like so I'm training, you might not believe it by looking at me, but I'm actually training for an Ironman. And so I was like, I don't run, whatever, Matt. I don't run. I don't bike.
I don't run. I don't bike. I don't swim.
But
I don't go to the gym.
But I think I kind of want to do this, you know? And so I put into ChatGPT here's my activity level, nothing. How do I train for an Ironman in the next 120 days? And it spit out like all these different things I can do, and I'm chipping away at it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
We'll see. You know what? The proof will be in the pudding. We'll see. If you're able to do this Ironman, then we know that ChatGPT works. If not,
I don't know if we can blame ChatGPT
I know, you
if he doesn't do it, though.
No. It told me I needed to run, so far, and I didn't.
So real quick question, for people that are just hearing this conversation for the first time about artificial intelligence and how you can use it in real estate and possibly even in your everyday life, can you talk just real briefly of the engineering of it? How does AI work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So first thing, people don't realize that AI has been around since the 1950s. This is not new. ChatGPT gave access to so many people access to this software where it was free. And then people are like, oh, now everything is AI, right? It's like AI is a marketing term right now, guys.
Yeah.
It really is. Anything that's digital or anything that people don't understand, they're just saying it's AI. Right?
Or they add AI to the end of the URL.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And AI is 100% a marketing term. People are making a ton of money from it. But understanding how ChatGPT gives you a response is actually a really interesting thing that if you figure it out, it changes the way that you use it. So here, in a very brief, easy way to understand, ChatGPT references three things when it gives you a response. One, it references the massive amount of data that has been trained on. Two, it references the prompt that you put in. Again, the more detailed the prompt, the more detailed the response. And then three, and the most important, is it references everything in the prior chat history to give you one word. So it calculates those three things to give you one word. And then it recalculates those three things to give you the second word based on what the first word is. And then it recalculates those three things to give you the third word based on the first two.
Wow, that's so interesting.
All it is a language predictor. It predicts what word should come next, word by word. So to give you an idea of the processing power.
So it builds on itself.
It builds on itself, and it calculates 175 billion calculations per word that it spits out.
That's the key. Because obviously we as humans could probably do that, but that would take us years.
Forever.
Right. But it's like that company we're talking about. NVIDIA. I mean, that's the key to those processors. They move so lightning fast that they're able to process exactly what he just said at lightning speed so that you're getting a response so fast.
So you mentioned that you don't just do real estate, you consult for other companies as well, other industries.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to reach out to you maybe about consulting for their company, what would be the best way to reach out to you?
Yeah, so we have an online process where people can apply to do one-on-one consulting. It's philstringer.com/audit, where we basically go in and we do a full audit of their business. And we tell them, okay, here's, where's your pain points? Where can you increase your efficiency? Can you reduce your overhead, right? Can you increase revenue using some automation, some AI tools? And we're able to either recommend a plan and a blueprint for them to follow, or we can even build custom tools just for them, depending on the enterprise size. And we do anything from solo agents or teams that want one-on-one consulting and they don't just want a course, to enterprises with tens of thousands of employees.
Wow. But what if they want to have you speak at an event? Because I know you're coming back. You're going to be in Fresno next week and Tahoe after that. And then you're all over the world. You're going to
speak at a Snoop Doggy Dogg concert?
Snoop Doggy Dogg, I wish.
Before we get to the music, hold on. We got to hear from this guy, Phil Stringer, about AI.
Yeah, they'll boo me off the stage.
Do they go there as well to philstringer.com to?
Yeah, so the link, if you want the direct link, is bookphilstringer.com. So if you go to bookphilstringer.com, there's a form where you can request. And obviously we can't do every event. But we'll do what we can, and so that gets the process started. I've got a booking admin that will reach out to you, and
is that Meredith?
Meredith, yeah,
she's awesome,
dude. She's killer. She's done a great job.
She was. I was texting with her yesterday, and she was just checking in, making sure everything's good. And she took 5 minutes to respond. Like, it was not a long time.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Sorry for the delayed response."
So Meredith is AI. No,
That's what my next question was. She's a little too good.
A little too good.
Wait a second.
She took 5 minutes.
She responded to my question before I had finished saying what it was.
I know, she knew. But she was like, "Oh, sorry, I'm in the pool with my kids. It's been a crazy few days. I'm just hanging out with the family." And I was like, "Okay, so you are real."
She's real.
Okay.
She's real. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks so much for being on the show. We'll be back after this.
Mike, friends are great, right?
Yes.
We highly recommend them, but it's not always the best idea to use them as your realtor. Like, for instance, Matthew tried that. He tried using his friend to sell his home. His friend said, "Oh my goodness, it's too complicated to sell. It'll never happen." So what did Matthew do? He called up our friend Johnny Jennings and the Tom Daves team with Made for More Realty. What did they say? No, your house is not too complicated to sell. In fact, they sold it in record time and at full price, Mike.
Yeah, see, that's just some of the reasons why Johnny Jennings and the Tom Daves team are the #1 team in Roseville. Plus, they offer a listing warranty. So if something happens to the house while it's listed, it gets fixed at no cost to you. Plus, you tie that with their Bay Area to marketing plan, and you are sure to get more for your home, and it's sold faster than you were expecting. So expect more, get more with Johnny Jennings and the Tom Daves team at Made for More Realty, brokered by eXp Realty. Just Google Made for More Realty today and get more for your home. License number 581837.
This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings, powered by eXp Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
We've had an incredible show so far. We've talked about what what artificial intelligence is and how it is impacting buyers and sellers and what they can expect from a real estate agent. We've talked about how real estate agents can use artificial intelligence. We've talked about how the general population can use artificial intelligence and the good and the bad. But what we haven't really talked about is this is a changing landscape. Like, it's moving so quickly. Who do you look to for guidance? Like, how do you stay cutting edge in this crazy world of AI?
Yeah, the hardest part for me is staying on top of all of the tools, because it's like there's a new tool every day, and there's hundreds of them and thousands of them, and it gets so overwhelming because I'll look at my week and I'll be like, all I did was research. Right? Like, I have to be the guy to know what's going on, but there's so much going on.
Yeah, you'd lose credibility if somebody goes, "Hey, what about this?" And you're like,
no, I don't know. Never heard it, right? And so you have to stay on top, but it's almost impossible to stay on top of.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's a bunch of YouTube videos. I've got, I have an alert when new AI tools come out, and then I go and I look at them. It's almost impossible to do. Honestly, I'll probably have to hire a research team, and that's probably how it's going to have to go, just because this thing is moving so quickly. But most of my time is research and figuring out, okay, is this better than this? Does this work? Is this junk? And because that's the main overwhelm for people, and I want to eliminate that overwhelm for them so I can condense time for them.
Absolutely. And so in that PDF that you offer, you've condensed a lot of that time because you've picked out, was it 10?
10, yeah.
10 different tools that if you just are overwhelmed and you don't know what to pick, specifically for real estate is the PDF you're giving away. But it doesn't have to be real estate. Like, Opus is, anybody can use Opus. Descript, anybody can use Descript. Designer, anybody can use Designer. Anybody in business. ChatGPT, anybody can use that, whether in business or for personal use. But what's the best way for them to get a copy of that PDF? Aside from going to madeformorerealty.com, you can reach out to us, or just call 530-GET-MORE and we'll get it over to you. But
yeah, I think I'll give it to you guys, you give it to them, and then that way they can use it. But it's really for anyone who needs to market their business, which is literally all of us. Like, the principles apply for every single industry, which is why we created a real estate course 1 year ago, and we've got 24 different industries in our course right now on a real estate course.
So it started with real estate, and then within 12 months you added, that's basically 2 a month. That you were adding new industries.
Yes. We have over 1,000 students in all 50 states and in 23 different countries.
Have you been to all those countries?
No. Heck no.
That would be awesome.
That would be amazing.
His first stop had to be Sacramento first.
Yeah,
Have you ever been to Sacramento?
Yeah.
Is this your first time?
No, I've been here a few times.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a frequent flyer of Sacramento.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, real quick. You're applying AI to the real estate industry. So if a large number of people start incorporating all of these tools that you're saying, how is this going to transform the real estate industry? What are we going to see in the next 5 to 10 years if agents start incorporating AI?
Yeah. A really cool thing is a lot of people will say, hey, you give these prompts, but if I copy and paste it, aren't I going to get the exact same thing that Sally is if she attended your class too?
Oh, that's a good question.
But because of the 175 billion variables each word, you can copy the exact same prompt that I copy and hit paste, and we get different results. And I had someone call me out in one of my live presentations, and they're like, bull crap. And I looked and I was like, excuse me? They're like, I don't believe you. And she had a computer. I said, all right, pull it up. And so we typed the exact same thing, and she hits enter, I hit enter, and her response was,
totally different.
Yeah, totally different.
But this brings up another good point, because when you spoke last August in Sacramento, you were sharing some tools that people could use, so it didn't look like it was written by AI or wasn't detected. Yeah. You didn't go over that. I
didn't. No, because there were a lot of people who had attended that. I wanted to give a lot of fresh, new, different stuff, so I didn't hit some of the old stuff that I went through last August. But that is a tool that I still use. So it's for blogs specifically. So Google will actually suppress your SEO and your views if your blog is written by AI, and they have a software that detects if it's written by AI, because they don't want to promote AI-generated content.
Yeah, they have certain, I heard, security measures to detect if your image is AI-generated as well. They'll flag it, this is an AI-generated image.
Exactly. So for blogs, when you're talking about text and you want SEO for your website, if you're generating a blog with AI, you can go to a tool. It's called undetectable.ai is the web address. You put in the blog, you paste it in, you check for AI, and it will tell you if it was written by AI. Sometimes it'll say that it's not. And if it doesn't, you're fine, because the software doesn't recognize that it's written by AI. But if it does say it was written by AI, there's a big humanize button. You hit the humanize button, and it makes it to her, right? So you think of kids writing papers in school.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. They'll be like
exactly
the software.
What I was thinking.
Well, there's a software to now, beat the software essentially.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But let's get back to this crazy stratospheric growth you've had. Like that is just a wild ride. Did you think it was going to take off like this?
Never.
And so like what? Because I'm constantly looking to grow and develop our real estate business. But I mean, we're not in 23 countries and have 1,000 different, So what advice would you give based off your ride so far to somebody who's looking to grow their business? What would you say to that person?
The real, honest, straight up answer.
Yeah.
That's legit.
As long as it's safe to say on the radio.
I hope so. No. It's take massive action, like your back is up against the wall, whether or not your back is up against the wall. When our back is up against the wall and we have no option, man, we take massive action and we just make things happen.
Yep.
So when I launched my business, I needed $1,200 really badly. I needed it in 10 days. And so I had an opportunity, and someone said, hey, will you do this? Will you do your AI thing for our group of people? And I said, sure, if you let me pitch my course. And I didn't have a course. And they said, okay, how much is your course? I said $1,200. And so I took massive action, and I created, I was doing AI, so I knew all the stuff, but I didn't have it packaged in a course, right? I was doing coaching and whatnot. But I wouldn't have done that if I didn't need the $1,200. So I look back and I was like, if I didn't need that $1,200 in a short amount of time, I wouldn't have been like, yeah, here's the thing, and it's $1,200. I wouldn't have created the program.
Yeah.
But we don't have to wait until we need $1,200 to decide to create a program, right? We don't have to wait until our back is up against the wall to take massive action like our back.
But what I'm hearing you say though too is, my thought was, hey, can you speak at my AI event? I need $1,200. No, I'll charge $1,200. Yeah. But you took it a step further and created a product that's going to create $1,200, sequentially rather than a one-off. Yep. And that's I think that's a massive takeaway for me at least.
And when they called me, they said it's in 20 minutes. I had 20 minutes. Oh. Now most people would have been like, heck no, I'm not prepared. What I have decided to do is say yes to the things early on. I'm saying no way more now because I think there's a lot of value in saying no and protecting your time. But when I needed to grow, I was saying yes to as many free opportunities as I could just to get my name out there. You know, and then again, it's give more for free than other people charge for. And you will create people who trust you, who like you, because you're giving them so much you're not asking for anything in return.
Yep.
And so people trust you and they're like, no, what this guy is doing is good. If you try and do a cash grab and you give people junk, they're never going to trust you again.
Right.
So I was like, no, it is not worth me ruining my name or my brand to give people junk and just take money from them, because they will never come back to me. So I'm going to give them the best stuff I possibly can, and I'm going to give a lot away for free.
Yeah. That's why Johnny doesn't charge any commission when he sells a house. He wants to give the best service for free.
Best service
but I
for
was
free.
comparing with what he just said about your back against the wall and being hungry. And you've said that in past shows, where the team members that you want on Made for More Realty are those that are hungry, that act like their back against the wall. Doing real estate is not a hobby. It's a necessity. In order for me to feed my family, pay my bills, I need to sell homes. And those are the type of people you want on your team. And I think our culture has gotten really comfortable, and just everything has just come so easy that it's not natural to behave that way anymore, to act hungry and like your back's against the wall. And so, like he was saying, it's unique nowadays to have that kind of eagerness and hunger.
Yeah.
And that's who you see. That's the type of people you see at the top of very successful companies. If you listen to their stories, that's how they have acted. They've said they've been hungry and they've just gone after it. Like There was no other option.
No other option. There's no plan B. Burn the boats. There's no safety net.
Right.
Failure is not an option. And you're right. Not that we want real estate agents who are desperate, but we want people who are desperate to succeed.
Yes.
And so that's the main. I mean, Tom Ferry, he spoke here a couple weeks ago, and he was saying that's one of the largest determinants in an agent's success is how hungry are they? They're going to be as successful. The typical agent's going to be as successful as they need to be. So if you need to make $5,000 that month, you're probably going to sell $5,000 worth of homes. If you need to sell $50,000, $100,000 worth of homes in order to pay the salary, pay the staff, pay the marketing, you're going to sell $100,000 worth. Now, sometimes you might sell more, sometimes you might sell less, but as long as but to Phil's point, you should be operating at that $100,000 level, even if you just need the $5,000. And that's been the key to your success.
Yes, 100%. Take massive action and give as much value as you can.
Awesome. And if you want to reach out to Phil, what's the best way to get more free value from Phil?
Free value from Phil, definitely Instagram at Phil Stringer, website philstringer.com.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man, for being on the show. Really appreciate it.
Yeah,
I know this was not the easiest, so thank you.
It's been an honor. Thanks so much.